We are on the road to the best tournament arc in modern anime history, and that tournament arc is set to take place in the anime To Be Hero X, and we're currently in the midst of learning about our top 10 heroes. These heroes are the only ones eligible to enter this tournament and fight to be the best hero in the world, to be Hero X. And so far, this season of To Be Hero X has become an anthology story where each episode focuses on one of the characters in the top 10, and we get their whole entire backstory, motivation, and goals, their whole entire arc within a span of 2 to 3 episodes each, with a lot of foreshadowing, tidbit of details and information connecting them to other heroes and characters, setting up for one massive tournament arc filled with some of the highest stakes, best fights, animation, and choreography, and just an insane power system in this show overall. So to get you guys prepared for all of that, I have been breaking down all the top 10 heroes individually. At the time of this video, I think 5 of them are already done and should be out, those being Lucky Cyan, Linling the Commoner, Iso, Queen, and of course Loli. And now in this video, we're diving into the silent assassin, GHOSTBLADE. So without further ado, you guys can leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts down below on To Be Hero X, but let's go ahead and get right into it. GHOSTBLADE possibly got one of the most insane yet interesting backstories I've ever seen, and they connect and craft it so perfectly surrounding this world and how the powers work. So growing up, GHOSTBLADE, his family, big, full, loud, always around, making a lot of noise, talking, being very outgoing. He grew up in an environment where it was just a lot going on for him, and so this caused him to be more reserved, more calm, more laid back, and silent. He grew up in a family of butchers, and he tried to block out all the noise and conversations that were happening, but he did love being a butcher. He took his job very seriously, as serious as an assassin would, and due to this, he started posting on the social media app FOMO and quickly gaining a following of him cutting up all different types of pigs and other animals, and people liking, commenting, putting hashtags silent assassin, calm but deadly, and this once again greatly increased his popularity, letting him become a hero, an assassin that is. But it also completely halted his capability of speaking now that his fans truly believed he was a silent assassin that just can't or won't ever talk. But this wasn't a problem for him because of how he grew up. This is what he always wanted. So while he became a hero, grew into the top 10, he ended up going on a mission. One of these bounties that he was chasing that someone hired him for was on the run, and they tried to use a girl as a hostage to get GHOSTBLADE to back off. The girl didn't even budge, didn't move a millimeter. She just stayed on her phone the entire time, and GHOSTBLADE easily handled the situation, and she went on about her day like it didn't even happen, like she just wasn't in a hostage situation that was life or death. He immediately fell in love with this girl because they connected so well through their love of not talking. So they connected, they ended up getting married, still not having no conversation until one point where they were in a hospital together, and it was revealed that she was of course pregnant. This is the first time we see her take her eyes off her phone. Not only that, but completely drop it. Due to her being pregnant, eventually having this baby, she wants GHOSTBLADE to leave the life of a hero, to resent his fans, his popularity, everything like that, so that he could be there for his daughter, his family, everything like that. At this time, GHOSTBLADE, incapable of being able to allow himself to do that, decides no, he wants to stay a hero. He's not really ready to speak, and he really can't because of what the fans think of him. His wife ends up leaving him. Now fast forward 18 years, he wants to get to know his daughter. He goes to talk to his ex-wife, and he brings a teddy bear. She says she's a grown woman now, you don't even know her at all, just stay away like you've been doing for the past 18 15 years and so. But him, this guy's crazy. He decides to start stalking his daughter. So yes, the stalker that was in the Loli episodes that was following Noah, Loli's friend who worked at the lab with her and her dad, that was GHOSTBLADE, which makes sense because that fight between him and Loli, he was giving her the work, and that makes sense seeing as he's the number 4 ranked hero. And it also makes sense why when Loli told him to back off, he just left, because when he was following his daughter, he thought she was talking about a different stalker following her, not that it was him. So he doesn't even realize the problem in what he's doing. So he's following his daughter, learning everything about her favorite food, drinks, clothes, music, all of the sorts. And when he's following them again another night, Loli and of course Noah sees him once again, makes fun of him, laughs at him. Now this is the episode in which they go back to the lab and Loli fights DJ Shindig, ends up beating him before GHOSTBLADE could even show up. But upon GHOSTBLADE showing up, another mission is sparked from this whole controversy of him attacking the lab and everything that came from it. And due to this, and knowing Noah and Loli is gonna be there, GHOSTBLADE, wanting to be close to his daughter even though she doesn't know it's him, decides to volunteer himself for that mission. He also gets a partner, the Johnnies, which is interesting because GHOSTBLADE, I didn't mention this, but one of his hired bounties and hits was the Johnny's father. We got to see how that comes back around in the Johnny's episodes. That's something to keep an eye on as well. But going on this mission, following behind Loli's dad from the lab, they're dropping right behind them, but Loli and them are actively looking for the stalker, tracking him to see who it was, and they immediately see that the stalker is following them and they're confused on how. This causes a scene where Loli jumps into her suit and lands on top of GHOSTBLADE's car while he's driving, almost causing him to crash, yelling at him to get out. At this point, he's exposed for being a stalker, following her the whole time, knowing everything she loves, everything like that. And everyone is thinking it's because he's in love with her, wants to get to know her, possibly date her and everything like that. And he can't talk, he can't say what it really is. So the whole time on this mission, the situation and everything is awkward, things settle down a bit, but then DJ Shindig, remember, was taken by the Spotlight organization, the big evil of this show that's hopefully we get some more insight on eventually on the part they're gonna play in this world. But they took him at the end, and within GHOSTBLADE episodes they do this experiment mutating him, basically changing his power to him releasing these toxins into the air to where everyone in the vicinity starts to feel these different type of symptoms. He's spreading this little toxin and poison that's causing people to say their deepest, darkest feelings and insecurities, problems with their life. Everyone is crying. We got Loli and her dad fighting about never seeing each other, trusting one another. Noah talking about how she always wants to argue with her dad, but she doesn't know who he is. GHOSTBLADE right across the table from her, and these symptoms are even affecting him. But he's the only one who realizes that something is going on, something isn't right. So he decides to get up and find out what it is. Doing this, he leaves his coat on Noah as she goes and cries next to her tent. He goes into the forest and finds DJ Shindig, and we finally get to see him fight in a one-on-one. Now, I wanted more from this, but he pretty much handles him easily. Probably one of the low lights as far as fight scenes go in this show so far. He didn't really have an opponent that was threatening to him. He took him out with ease, and everyone's symptoms and problems subsided very quickly. While he's doing this though, Noah finally realized that he put his jacket on her. She goes into his jacket and finds his pocketbook in which he's taking notes about everything she liked while he was following her, and in the notes it reveals to her that he is her father. She's shocked and surprised by this, and we get a scene of Lucky Cyan talking about the Johnnies going on a mission. She's on the phone with Queen, of course, because she's talking about a vacation. This connects back to Queen Ling's episodes at the end of hers were her and Lucky Cyan in the car driving away, and we see Big Johnny transform into his gigantic form, and we don't know why, but all these scenes are converging at the same time, which once again is interesting because we do know GHOSTBLADE took out the Johnny's dad, so maybe he found out about that, maybe he had an ulterior motive. We're gonna find out in the next two the Johnny's episodes. But back to GHOSTBLADE to wrap up his story and everything that's going on with him. I think it's another well told backstory and incorporating it with, once again, the power system of this world, the fans, the civilians, the regular everyday people having so much control and power over these heroes who are seemingly in other mediums. They have all the power control at the snap of their fingers. They can make any choice they want to hurt someone, to save someone. They have complete autonomy over their powers, whereas in this show, GHOSTBLADE, he's at a hindrance, something that he loves, silence. He's always wanted this because of his family, the way he was growing up. He finally found the perfect wife for that. She gets pregnant, this baby comes into this world, and he wants to change. He's conflicted with the choice, but at the end of the day, he wants to be there for his daughter, but he isn't able to talk, to speak, and uphold this same persona of this silent killer, this deadly assassin. It kind of mirrors Lin Ling's story. Lin Ling, the commoner from my first video, the number 10 ranked hero, where he became the hero nice, put on this persona, and it completely changed him, the way he looked, who people saw him as. And when we saw that someone was in danger, Moon, he wanted to go save her, his fans didn't want him to do that, so he didn't even have the ability to do the thing he wanted to do the most until he released the image of being nice and went back to being himself, went out and fought to save the person he wanted. Now that Nua knows that he's a father, I'm interested to see how this progresses further. As for what this has to do with the Hero X tournament, it sets up a storyline, a potential future fight between Lowly and him once again, the stakes that could have with Nua being in the middle of that, and we already seen him have a bit of a scrimmage already prior. And this dude is so skilled with a blade that he's gonna be a tough fight for anyone competing in this tournament. I think everyone else pretty much has direct storylines of someone they could fight. When Lin Ling fighting ESO, Queen wants her revenge on Hero X, and we got a few more characters we got to get through, but he's gonna be one of the strongest opponents within the tournament, and I can't wait to see who he fights and what happens next. Now, I think this is the 5th or 6th character in the top 10 we have did. We did Lin Ling the Commoner, Lucky Cyan, ESO, Queen, Lowly, and now GHOSTBLADE. All we have left is Dragon Boy, Ahu, the Johnnies, and the Mystery Hero X, which he only gets 1 episode, so I hope they do him justice because he's getting the shortest amount of time. The season finale, that should need to be a banger. But if you're interested in any of the other heroes in the top 10, make sure you go check out those videos as I prepare you for the best tournament arc in modern anime history. As usual though, you guys can leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.